Hello, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigations. Had a lot of weird things going on for a second there. Some things happened that I've never had to deal with. So I'm not quite sure what that was all about. So we will figure that out. Jesse, you need to read the private chat. I sent you a message. Something really weird happened right before the show. I got locked out and had to agree to some terms. Not quite sure what was going on there. First time I've ever dealt with that. I have my suspicions, but that's all they are, suspicions at this point. So I hope everybody's doing good tonight. It's good to see everybody in here tonight. We've got a good encounter for y'all tonight. There's nothing there. Hmm. Okay, let me see if I can send you a text message real quick. That's strange. Well, let me try. Let me try that again. I've got my phone actually. I'm using it on the live. That's what screwed me up. Is I got that thing. So we had some weird stuff going on, guys, at the beginning of the show. Not quite sure exactly what's going on. Um, Trying to figure it out. Let's see. That's what I wanted to. Or mass reporting, because it never said sus, if you get what I'm saying. This came up as a sus with a red screen, like an alert. All right. Looks like we got Belinda in here moderating tonight. We got Ellen Smith in here. We got Damos. I hope I said that right. Grace is in here. Dana's in here. Dana Ortega's in here. It's good to see Michael Deers here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Looks like we got Pink Pixie in here moderating tonight, guys. Y'all are in trouble now. Pink Pixie's in here, and she is ready to go to war. Just joking. She's the sweetest person you'd ever meet. She's a really sweet lady. And it's good to see Dana Affliction. I don't want to get the two Danes mixed up. There's Nancy McDonald. Tyler 420's in the house. Always good to see Tyler. He always shows up. And there's Amanda. Uh-oh. Thank you, Amanda. There we go. Amanda's on it. Amanda needs a wrench. We're going to throw Amanda a wrench tonight. Amanda, would you like to have a wrench? And as I was saying, we got Dana Ortega in the house. We got Michael Deer here in the house. We got Margie Burt in the house. We got Lisa Ann here moderating. Good to see you. Who all else we got in there? Keep on rolling, chat. I'm looking for some people. I see Dana Affliction in here. Am I good and clear now, guys? Can everybody hear me? AI Nanny Pam's here. Tim Wrestler says, good to see you, Tim. Always good to see Tim. Peter McPhee's in the house. How you doing, Peter? Good to see you. Looks like we got a lot of our usuals here. Yep, there's AI Nanny Pam. OCST looks like he was able to make it into the chat. Good to see OCST. Um, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I hope that I got most people. Um, Audio is still bad. My audio is bad. Okay, let me bring Jess in so I can work on some issues we got going on here real quick. Let's see if this does. Are we any better now? Can you hear me now? Okay, I have no audio. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, we have something going on here. I'm not quite sure. Let's see here. All right, Jess, try talking to me now.
You know what?
Yeah, Jess has no sound.
That
I'm not
is. Now
hearing
can
her
you hear
either.
me?
Can everybody hear me? Let's try that. Can everybody hear me right now? All right, everybody can hear me. Yeah, Jess, I'm not getting anything on your end.
Can you, can you hear me now? Anything?
Thought I was
Click?
going crazy, guys, for a second.
No?
Or crazier.
Okay. Hold on.
Uh-oh, she disappeared on us. All right, can everybody hear Jess now? Because I'm not hearing Jessie.
No? Nothing? What the heck? It
Okay,
says.
they can hear you. So something's going on where I'm not hearing you for some reason. Let's try this.
Check, check. Can you hear me? Okay. Peter says I could hear just fine now. Okay. Can hear both. I don't think he can hear me. Can you not hear me, Mike? No, I don't think he can hear me, guys.
So people can hear Jessie right now. Is that right? Everybody can
Yeah.
hear Jessie?
Yeah.
What is going on? Talk now, Jessie. Let me see if that'll work.
Check, check, testing. Can you hear me? Yeah? No?
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Woohoo.
All kinds of things, man. I don't know what is going on tonight. There we go. That's better. Oh, okay. So we got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Good to see everybody. We got a good encounter for you tonight, but we got a catch, guys. OCST cannot make it tonight. He got caught up in town. So, does anybody in our chat want to sit in with us tonight while we do the encounter?
Ooh, fun, fun. Who's going to come in?
I
We have
think
any
Amanda's. I'm going to nominate Amanda's Crazy Life. Amanda, would you like to come and hang out with us on here?
Yeah, the squeak. I believe that would be Mike is to blame for the squeaky.
Yeah, the squeak's on my side. Sorry.
I think you should bribe Amanda, give her a wrench, and tell her she can come on. But she has to come on to get a wrench. You don't do lives. Why?
Come on, Amanda. There's Brandy's. Good to see Brandy's in here. I think that's a new face. It may not be, but doesn't sound familiar. Margie Burke's in here. Silver Bullet's in here. I will if no pick. You got it. No pick. You don't have to show your pick. We will send you the link in the chat. Just click on it, and you don't have to show your face. That's fine. We're fine with that. I don't blame you, actually, the way things are right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is L. Smurfy. I'm guessing that stands for Little Smurfy. I'm not sure. Little Smurfette.
There's a little Smurfette in her picture.
Little Smurfy. Tim Wrestler.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Tim. God bless you for that. Tim is my Kansas neighbor up in Kansas. OCST says he's 15 minutes away. We'll just have a big old party when OCST gets here. We'll all just jump
Sounds
in
good.
here.
Heck yeah.
Why, hell yeah, we're going to have a party tonight. I got 2 drinks over here, so we're ready to go. We got a good encounter too. All right. Do you have the link where you can throw it in chat, or do you need me to go try to grab it?
I can get it. I got it. Right on top of that, Rose.
Here it comes, Amanda. Just click on the link and follow the prompt. Tyler, she likes those gummy worms, huh? You know, did everybody hear about the gummy bears? They had fentanyl on them. There was a recall
What?
on them. Yeah, there's a recall on them.
How did they get fentanyl on them?
Who knows? In today's world, there's the link, Amanda. It is in the chat. And I also have some good news that Jesse doesn't know, but it sounds like Randy will be back with us pretty soon as he's getting things worked out. I just spoke to him, and it sounds like he's not far away from rejoining the lives. So that's going to be coming up really soon, hopefully.
Good. It'd be nice to have him back.
Randy. Well, I got to have my AI here so I can function. I don't like my camera how it's done right now, but I guess it's going to have to work. Everything tonight's bonkers, guys. Sorry about that.
Yep.
We're waiting for Amanda to come backstage. If we didn't run, I hope we didn't run her off. She doesn't have to. She doesn't want to. I hope we didn't pressure her too much and she's hiding from us. If y'all hear me gag, it's because this fly has flown down my throat. All this rain we've got and flooding and everything, the flies are taking advantage of it.
1 second.
Oh, yeah. That hit the spot right there. Little Smurfy, I am ready for Randy also. Everybody's missing Randy. Everybody's missing Randy.
Moderators, I just sent a message to group chat. Please be aware.
There's Amanda. She's backstage.
Woohoo!
I'll let her get situated before I throw her in. Make sure I don't throw her on with her not having her face off. That would be terrible. Throw her up and she doesn't have it blocked. Looks like she's good, so we're going to go ahead and bring her in from backstage. She should be good. Maybe not yet. Not yet. It's okay. I'm waiting on you. No hurry.
Yes,
Glad
Ellen, it will be good to have Randy back. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. My mom is a Randy fan. Mom misses Randy.
Yes, yeah, I think we all miss Randy.
All right, I think she's ready now, so we will bring her on.
Yes, yeah, I think we all miss Randy. Welcome.
Hello, Amanda.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Am I on?
You are
on.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
You're live.
Yep. You'll want to just mute YouTube or actually shut down the YouTube page.
Shut down the YouTube page. Okay.
Yep, but not your StreamYard. Yes.
Okay.
All right, you got it.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, everyone.
See, there's nothing to it. Nothing at all.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
This is fun.
And if you need to run at any time during the live, just let us know. It's no big deal. We don't want to keep you if you get tired or whatever.
Yeah, no big deal. I just
All
did.
right.
This is my very first time. I'm super excited, and I'm glad that you guys are letting me come on.
Yeah.
Oh, we're glad to have you.
Mm-hmm.
Just on our announcements, guys, tonight, I'm not really going to go into this a whole lot. I have to do a live tomorrow night, unfortunately. Y'all probably know what it's going to be about. I'm not going to be doing it on this channel. I'm going to be doing it on my my other channel, which is called AI Seeking the Truth. So if you want to come over to that live and you want to see what I have to say, some really bad things went down today. I'm going to show it to y'all, but that's the gist of it. Jesse will throw the link in the chat. Y'all can go subscribe there if you want to see what we got to say. It's going to be very important. I'll make a live or a short tomorrow also. So we will go with that tomorrow.
Yep.
Going to be changing up some of my daily drops, guys. It's not going to be every one of them, but I'm going to be doing some of the drops. It's going to be out in the woods on location. Some of the story drops each day that I do. I'm going to start doing that out in the woods, guys. I think we're going to start doing some of the readings down there. Maybe not all of them, but as many as we can. Patreon video, the Vatican video we are working on right now, and we will try to get it out just as soon as we can. The members live, I believe, is coming up, and then we got T Carp coming on Wide Open Adventures on the 24th. So we got a lot of things. Tim, we're going to go for 8 o'clock tomorrow night. It'll be on AI Seeking the Truth. Guarantee you guys don't want to miss it. I'm just not bringing it. I got to fly, I swear. I'm just not going to bring it here because a lot of people don't want to know, and the ones that do want to know, just go to AI Seeking the Truth tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It'll be live, and you'll be able to see what we got to say there.
Yep.
Okay, I think we're pretty much through that. So, Amanda, anything you want to ask or know, or any questions or anything before we? I'm kind of waiting on OCST to get here before we get crazy.
I just want to tell you how much I appreciate both of you. You and Jess are both so awesome, and I just really love what you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do my best. Sometimes it's hard,
Oh, I bet. I can imagine.
but I do the best I can. So
That's all we can do, right?
that's right.
Exactly.
So you're an outdoorsman, correct?
Yes, I am.
Outdoors woman.
Woman, yes.
I was thinking so.
Yeah, she's got some fun videos.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love camping and hiking. Me and my kids have always loved camping and hiking. That's what we do as a family. We really enjoy that.
Well, that's cool. You had any encounters?
I had a Bigfoot encounter when I was 9 years old in Wolf Creek, Oregon. I was living with my grandma at the time, and she lived in a fifth wheel trailer. And I was sleeping, and I woke up. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up just out of nowhere, and I looked over, and there was this giant thing, Bigfoot, staring right at me through the window. I mean, like face to face. I saw when he exhaled, I saw his breath on the window.
Wow. Isn't it amazing how they always seem to, want to look in the windows and stuff, hence the watchers,
Yeah,
That
I
is.
always say, oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I always say that Bigfoot is a pervert because he like loves to look in the windows at people, like like a pervert would.
I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. Yeah.
I think my mom kind of maybe felt that way a little bit too, because it seemed like I don't know if you would call it, I always called it imprinting is kind of what I went with, but I don't know if they get like a crush on people, or if they get like an asphyxiation, like they just see something and they're, for some reason they pick that one person. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
only thing, I don't know what caused it with mom. The only thing I could figure was she maybe had the closest encounter to it. Maybe that has something to do with it.
I think 100% that they mark you, or if you've had an encounter, they definitely, you will continue to have encounters with them. Maybe not like the same one or anything, but I do think that once you're open to that, and I think it all has to do with being open to stuff. Like if you're open to see the stuff, you're going to see it more. That's at least what I think.
I think that you're on the right track, because I remember a long time ago I was telling I think I was telling Jesse about it. When we were young, it was common at my granny's house for all of us on Halloween especially to do what we called spook hunting. And what it was is the adults would load up in my uncle's big 4-wheel drive truck, and we would drive down to the bottoms, and everybody would try to get scared. And we would always hear something, or something would happen. But Granny used to always say, and then my uncle also, they would stay home. They would not participate in the spook hunt, as we called it, because they said if you go looking for it, you're going to find it. So they would just stay at home because they said they didn't want to find it. They didn't want to look for it. They knew it already came up, to Granny's house. So they wasn't interested in going out and I guess maybe provoking it.
Yeah. Granny sounds like a smart lady. Smart lady.
Felt so safe with her. I stayed with her many nights and it was so scary down there. And she had a little 32 pistol that was my grandpa's, and she kept a butcher knife beside her on the couch. And she would always tell us, if it comes in that door, it'll wish it didn't. And we always felt safe with Granny there.
Oh yeah, I'm a big into pew pews. Definitely, I think that we all should have one, and that's our right to protect ourselves.
Amen.
Absolutely. I used to collect them, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, I
I do.
used to. I used
I
to.
do too, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. We have a little bit of a lag. It's going to happen. It happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So you like to collect? You're going to have to come over to our Wide Open Adventures on the 24th because I think T Carp and us are going to talk a lot about knives and the pew pews and all
Oh,
that kind
good.
of
Oh,
fun thing.
I
She
will.
can.
I will be there 100%. I love T Carp, and I absolutely loved Scott Carpenter. I just think he was an amazing man.
I I missed an opportunity with him that I wish that I would have been able to have. It was just almost a week too short. I will never know, I guess, what he wanted to say, but it bothers
I'm
me.
sure
It bothers.
T Carp. I'm sure T Carp will figure it out or remember or maybe he has it documented somewhere, you know?
Yeah, he wasn't sure what he wanted. He wasn't sure, and it was right in the middle of me getting started, and then I was like, oh my god, why does Scott Carpenter want to talk to me? And he's like, and just email is all we had. We just corresponded by email, and he was like, you have came on to what we believe is a missing piece of the puzzle, and I want to talk to you about it because I really think that you're onto something. And he's like, when can we talk? And we had set up a date, but unfortunately before that date he passed away.
Oh, that's horrible, Mike. I would have
Yeah.
dropped dead if I could had the opportunity to talk with Scott Carpenter. He was just a very knowledgeable man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I believe he was the cutting edge. I really do. I believe he was on the right track, and I think he was spot on.
Have you read his books? Have you read his DNA, the DNA one?
I haven't read them. I'm kind of cheating because I'm letting Travis read them, and I'm just kind of like going in and listening to what Travis has to say.
Me too, Mike. Me too. I always wanted to read his book, but I hate reading. So, I'll just watch T Carp and watch his old videos and learn it that way.
Right. You know, I don't I don't even know what's going on tonight. My computer actually is still running the camera right now, but it just shut everything off. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's okay. We're good. I can do this. Um, yeah, T Carp does a lot of amazing things. His dad was an amazing man, and he does a lot of amazing things. And I look forward to working with him. I think me and him are going to do a lot more outdoor videos together on my outdoor channel that I have. We're talking about doing like some maybe bushcraft talk, some survival talk, things of that nature.
Wow, that's awesome. I would love to learn like bushcraft and stuff like that. I'm really into apothecary, so I know a lot about plants and stuff like that, but I would love to learn like outdoor survival skills, stuff like that. I just think it's really awesome.
Well, you're gonna love our next show then, because we're going to be talking about, and I'm sure you probably heard about it going around, the poison hemlock plant.
Oh yeah, I know about the poison hemlock plant.
I got some plants in my yard that look like it, but I'm not sure if that's what they are. I don't know. I mean, I hear there's some that look like it, but it's not that, and then some that are that, and I don't know. I'm not going to eat one to find out. But
There you go. Just don't eat it and you'll be okay.
but I guess they are pretty poison.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plants that are poisonous that people would never even think that are poisonous that you could actually kill somebody with like a little bit, and it's crazy.
Well, they said the poison hemlock was what they used to kill Socrates.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
they. Yeah, they said like 6 leaves will kill an adult human.
Wow.
Yeah, entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, yeah, I was reading about it.
Well, hemlock is a whole family of plants, though. It's not just one plant.
Correct. Jess knows what's up.
I'll have
Sometimes.
her. I'll have her taste it and see what she thinks.
Mm.
Oh, no, you won't.
And if she does all right, then I'll eat it.
Hmm.
It might, if you eat the wrong one, it might just make you super high or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were saying this one actually shuts down your organs. There was a guy I was reading about that actually was clearing out some in his yard, and now he has to have double lung transplant, a heart transplant, and he's in really bad shape. I mean, his kidneys quit and everything just from being in it by mowing it, not even eating it or nothing. So,
Wow, that's kind of scary. I used to go through a lot of hemlock when we went on hikes when we lived in Alta, California. There's a lot of hemlock up there, and that's kind of scary because me and my kids walked right through it, but we didn't eat it though.
right.
Yeah.
I guess I need to. I'll email you a picture of what I got out here, and maybe you'll know
Yeah,
what it is.
sounds good.
All right, so OCST, I think he should be getting close. He said he was about 15 minutes out.
I just saw
Jesse,
Christy in the chat.
who is it?
I saw Christy in the chat.
Up, CRJ's here.
I just saw that Smurfy said something about Belladonna, and I just want to tell her Belladonna is such a good. I use Belladonna to help me sleep. I have really, really bad well, I'm bipolar and I have extreme anxiety and I have insomnia. So belladonna is something that I do take to help me sleep. It doesn't really do it because I've been taking it for so long. Like with anything, it stops being as potent when you take it longer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, the area you live in, is it populated or is it a lot of woods?
Oh, I live in smack dab in the middle of Chico, California. And I don't know if you know about Chico, but it is a college town and I live right in the middle of it. I live like in a concrete jungle. It
Mm.
sucks. That's why, but only 30 minutes from here, like I get to go and I'm in Lassen National Forest, 30 minutes from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hmm. I've never lived in a large city. I was raised country boy, lived country boy, very small town. Uh, I've never, I've been, we go to like Tulsa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's like the big city for us. And just going down there, downtown with all those tall buildings and everything, I'm just like, how do people do this every day? To me, I mean, I'm sure if people are used to it, that they're like, how does he live out there in the country with, all those ticks and snakes and
Oh, I love the country and I would live there in a heartbeat. It's just, I actually used to live on property, but then we lost the property. Long story. But so then we had to move to the city. I hate it, hate it, hate it.
oh man. Well, hopefully someday you'll be able to find a place that you like and somewhere that you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, hopefully somewhere where there's Bigfoot.
Well,
Careful what you
make it
wish for.
The
if we
nice kind, of course.
yeah, if we do the Squatch camp, maybe we can all come down and we can OCST and all of us can take a walk or something. There's a
Oh,
lot of
that would
places
be
around
awesome.
here.
That
Oh
would
yeah,
be
well,
awesome. I wish I could get, if I could come to Oklahoma, I would come in a heartbeat because I've been to Arkansas. I have family in Arkansas, but I've never been to Oklahoma and I would love to come to Oklahoma. I would be out there with you, Mike. I don't care. I'm not scared of snakes. I'm not scared of bugs. I don't care about ticks. I
oh
just
wow.
love being out in it.
Well, I'll admit I'm scared of snakes. they, they don't keep me from doing what I'm doing, but I don't like them. I used to not like spiders, but spiders don't bother me so much anymore.
I love spiders. If there's spiders in my house, I would never kill a spider. They have a home here always.
I send mine to Valhalla.
Oh, oh, well, do you give them a nice send off?
It's a let's just say that it's a smashing good time.
Just smashing. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. We have a lot of brown recluses around here. I've only ever
Oh,
seen just a few black widows, but
black
most.
widows don't black
Ooh,
widows don't bother me, but those brown recluse, my uncle got bit by one of those and lost half his leg.
Oh my gosh.
that is so
It like
weird. That happened to my uncle too.
it ate like it bit his lower calf muscle, like on the lower calf muscle, and it completely annihilated his half of his calf muscle is gone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My uncle, he had one fall out from underneath a car. He was working on it, and it landed on top of his upper thigh, and it bit him, and he
Yeah.
lost a whole big section out of his leg.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that a spider has that much venom just from a bite, like that it like deteriorates your muscle and everything. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm scared of spiders. Not as bad as I am snakes, though, because I woke up one morning with a snake under my pillow, and that was a bad morning.
Okay, so I am scared of snakes, but I also know that they're part of nature and they're going to be there because we're in their habitat. So we just got to deal with them. I'm not going to go play with a snake or pet one or anything like that. But I also know that they live there. So we're going to encounter them. Just, leave them alone.
Yeah, I mean, most bites occur, they say, when people do try to catch or kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I do. If they're not bothering me, I let them go. If they're in the yard, the kids are out there or whatever, then I relocate them to Valhalla. But other than that,
You're the Valhalla guy.
yeah, I'm trying to say it so YouTube don't get onto me too much.
I get it. I get it. Believe me.
Because normally I would say I send them somewhere else, but yeah, we get rid of them.
Yeah.
So Jesse, prayer. We got to do the prayer list tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for that?
I am. I
Are you
think.
sure?
Maybe. Hold on. Let me just check my updated notes.
Hello, Carolyn. Good to see you in chat tonight. Hello, Terry Thomason. Good to see you, bud.
Prayers. Got it. All right. We ask for continued prayers for Barton and Letitia Nunley, for Connie, Donna Severio, Emmy's sister-in-law Tanaka, Lisa Ann's sister Carolyn, Lindsay and Tony Merkel, Martin Groves, Michelle McGuire, Mike Shriver, Mindy Weeks' husband and Mindy Weeks, Pam Jones, Randy Petticourt, Virginia Sequeira's daughter, and William Johnson. So everybody, please keep them in your prayers for health, healing, and quick recoveries.
And Larry Fisher says, please pray for Austin McCarver. Also, he asked for prayers.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Healing
Him.
vibes for all those people sending now.
Yeah, so many people right now are having such a hard time, and I don't know. I think that you know. I'm not going to go into this right now, but it is going to be a video coming up. I was sitting here the other night and I was reading, and I don't have everything completely how or what I think, but it says in the end days it will be like the days of Noah. And in the days of Noah, we know that the angels, we believe, mated with the humans. And what they done in order to do that is they had to manifest into a body, right? They had to have a body to be able to do that.
Yep.
Look at all the robots that are coming out right now.
Ugh, That stuff scares me. I hate AI and I hate robotic stuff. That stuff really, I do not like it at all.
I have a lot of thoughts on that, and we'll probably do a video on it. I need to look at some more things, but it really got my mind to working. Have you heard from CRJ, Jess? Has she said anything to you, or Harold?
Nada.
Just
No.
hoping they're okay. Hopefully, when they show up, they will jump in. All right, guys, we've been on almost 52 minutes. We got 66 great
Ooh.
people in here. So we will start this encounter so we can start breaking it down. Let me get this pulled up real quick. So now I'm looking at three screens. I wonder why I get dizzy, right? All right. Let's get this one up. I was hoping, Harold.
Lisa Marie, I'm not quite sure what is going on with Barton or Letitia. I just know that they really do need some prayers. They've been going through some medical things, I guess, and maybe some other stuff too, but that's as far as I know. Did I have Martin Groves in there? I had Martin Groves, right? I know he's out of the hospital. Did I say that?
That's
Sorry.
all I heard is he was just out of the hospital.
Yep,
Oh,
he's out of the
no.
hospital, but finally out of the
What
hospital. I
happened?
think he was there for a week. He's had medical issues back and
Oh,
forth. Yeah, I know he was admitted to the hospital, but he is home now from the last I heard. So that is good. God is good.
I
So-
love Martin Groves so much.
Mhm.
Absolutely love him.
He is a very sweet, sweet man.
He's great at telling his story. I never watched anyone tell their story as good as he did. I watched his thing. I don't remember what channel it was, but I could not turn it off. I sat there, I did not move, which is totally unlike me because I'm up and down all around, but I did not move the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing encounter that he had.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And another good guy, while we're talking about good guys, Larry Fisher. He's got a roofing company, guys, Fisher and Sons. The information is right there on the screen. If you have any roof damage or anything that you need to get done, contact Larry. He will not only do the work and do the work good, but he will help you with your insurance company. He's very well adversed in that. He will be able to do anything that you need him to do. So there's his information. And if you ever need it, you can reach out to me. I can email it to you later or send it to you in Messenger, however you like. But we like to support Larry. We know he's a good man and he does a good job.
Absolutely.
All right. So OCST hopefully will jump in whenever he gets here if he has time. I know that he's really busy today, but we're going to jump into this one, guys. What I do need to do on this one, though, is there is a warning that comes along with this one, a content warning. So anybody that's, may become upset or sick by graphic content may not want to listen to this one here. So, and Amanda and I guess Jess, you guys will be the ones to come up with the ideas and help break it down tonight, and should be a good time.
I'll do my best.
That's all we can. That's all any of us can do.
True.
Of course, my best is usually perfect all the time, but I try to lower my expectations for everybody else.
Of course it is.
All right. So the one I'm taking tonight, guys, is a gentleman that is out of Oklahoma. And that's kind of what caught my attention whenever I seen the emails, whenever he said he was out of Oklahoma. And he also said, I am your Oklahoma neighbor. So that really caught my attention because then I start thinking, possible boots on the ground, right? Because all that starts running in my mind is, oh, you're close. You're in Oklahoma. You've had an encounter. So I've already sent him an email, guys, asking him for permission to come to his property. So you can tell how interested I am in this one.
And you can have a new boots on the ground buddy.
Well, I don't think he will go. I think that, yeah, I think he's pretty scared. Yeah, they had a really bad encounter. This is probably one of the worst encounters I have probably fielded He was very upset, very scared. His wife and son, they're to the point to where he said he just wanted to take a match and burn his house down.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, there's OCST.
Sorry I'm late, everybody.
Oh, you're good, man. We're just hanging out. We've got Amanda here. Amanda, that's Harold.
Hi,
Hey, Harold.
Harold.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, he was so afraid of this encounter. He tells me, I just wanted to burn my house down, collect the insurance. I was like, don't tell me that.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to know none of that. But I mean, they had a really bad encounter, so let's jump into it, and then we will start discussing it as we go. He says, his name is Daryl, and he says, I live close to you. And here's another one. I know this is going to red flag it probably for Jesse, especially maybe Harold. He lives on the Verdigris River. How many Verdigris Rivers encounters have we had? You know, he says, I'm having some issues with what I believe to be a Bigfoot family. I would like to share some things that have happened to me and some of my family in the past few months. To be honest, Mike, things really didn't pick up until this flood came in. We are so flooded right now, it is scary. The water can go from calm to rising and rolling in just minutes. A lot of animals have been pushed out of the woods. We're seeing more snakes, spiders, smaller animals, along with deer and other animals that have been pushed out of the woods by the floodwater. So I would assume that the Bigfoot are also losing ground and places to stay. He says one of the first encounters that happened is, he says, my son was laying in his room watching TV when this first started. He is 13 years old. He was playing his game and he was being loud, screaming and laughing. He always gets very excited playing his games. He said he'll scream and holler. He said he was having a good time, I guess. He said, and then it happened. He screamed and he came running to the front room. He yelled, Dad, something's at the window. There, whenever I went to check, staring at me, and it was making a whining noise, like almost like a brand new puppy had just been born, that kind of a loud whining noise. I jumped up and I grabbed my old 16 gauge double barrel shotgun and ran back to his room. When I got there, I seen something large and black move away from his window. I heard it running outside and I could tell it was heavy. For some reason, my mind went to a cow. For some reason, I just did not go to a cryptid, because I just think that most people that don't experience these things, we don't think of it being a monster. You think of a cow or a horse or something of that nature that comes out of the woods. It wasn't his first thought, was it to be a cryptid? So what do y'all think? You think a lot of people do that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nobody wants. I mean, that's for most people. That's not the first place that they want to even think or go to.
Most people wouldn't even think that at all.
Right.
It makes you wonder, how many times do people actually have something at their house that they misidentify as a cow or something they thought got out when really it was something else?
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%, Mike.
I find myself even if it is a cow, I'm like, I gotta hear it again.
Right.
Yeah, there you go, Aaron. Make sure.
It's that curiosity, huh?
Yep.
I do that too. And then I get in trouble for it because everybody's like, Mike, you should have left that area a lot sooner than what you did. You stayed too long. You pushed too hard. I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to see it. He said, I don't know why. Maybe because the other things are not supposed to exist. He said, then I heard what sounded like someone smack the house really loud. I mean, it was so loud, I actually jumped, and our little dog Precious started barking. I went to the front room and we turned off all the lights and just sat there listening in the dark. Our lab outside, he was having a fit. You could tell he was very upset. And he's a fat lab. He probably weighs 60 pounds. We never heard anything else, and we all slept on the floor that night together in the front room. The next morning, when I went outside, I noticed something. As I went out the back door, I noticed that the handle was super loose on the back door. I noticed that the back door was so loose that when I grabbed it, it wobbled and almost fell out of the door. So I thought, well, it's loose, and I will go out to the shed, get some tools, and fix it. He said, when I arrived back to fix the door handle, I noticed that no matter how much I tried to tighten it, it just didn't help. But then I noticed the whole handle was bent downward. The whole doorknob was pulled down and bent, he said. Something either tried to get in or something whacked it, I would guess. He says he went out to his shed to try to find another doorknob. He said he was sure that he probably had one laying in his shed. He says, so whenever I went out to the shed to find another handle, that's when I noticed there was blood on the door and around the latch.
Oh.
Any guesses?
Of the door of the shed?
Mm-hmm.
Time to go back inside.
Not me.
Not you.
Yep, I'd be looking for more blood.
Actually, I probably
I'm
would have too, to be honest.
I'm the first one in the movie that dies.
Mike's the bait.
Yeah, I'm the Kevin Bacon in the first Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and we're all up by the house going, go Mike, go.
Yeah.
Watching him.
Yeah. What do you see?
What does it look like?
Yeah. It hurts really bad. So he says, I noticed the blood was on the door and all around the latch. So when I opened the door, there it was. For anybody in the audience that can be triggered or anything, this may bother you. So I'll give you a second to excuse yourself before we go further. Always, because if I don't, I get in trouble in my comments. People will let me know real fast that I should have warned them. So he says, whenever he opens the door, he said, there it was. It was our lab. His name was Trip. He was our dog that stayed outside that weighed about 60 pounds, or I guess I should say what was left of our dog was laying in there. I mean, Mike, he was rolled up into a ball. He was a full-grown lab. I could barely even make out that he was even a dog. His head was missing, nowhere to be found. He was twisted up like a pretzel with no legs, just a body that was mangled. It almost looked like a ball of hamburger meat with a whole bunch of hair in it was the best way I knew how to explain it. The dog was torn beyond recognition. That really bothered me. I got sick to my stomach and I did vomit. I mean, the dog is part of our family, he said. Our animals are our family.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I called the game warden and he said he would come out to check it out. And then he says he still has not arrived to this day.
OMG. Reverse time and don't open that damn door.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Squatch.
Whatever it was took its anger and aggression out on that dog really bad.
Poor dog.
You're thinking Squatch Harold?
Yeah. Well, at least the dog, he's now Squatch dog.
Right.
No. I'm thinking more of the lines of dog man.
Prior to this, there was nothing that had happened, right?
No, he'd never shot at him. That's what Miss Boyd was asking there. No, they never shot at him. They've never had any trouble. This was the first night that this even happened. But the only difference that's going on in Oklahoma right now is we have massive flooding. Massive flooding.
So they're
So-
agitated because they're being pushed out of their areas.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they're probably hungry. And I agree with Tim too that the cryptids hate us. I believe that they are part of the fallen angels. They don't like us. They're, jealous of us. I would not
Maybe
want to meet one and be twisted up like that.
maybe the Sasquatch was just making spaghetti and he needed a meatball.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, these
Well,
things are
Just
the
the fact
brute
that
force.
the head's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
And
It's
that's
always, but the
they
head
don't
is
like
always
dogs.
missing. Y'all know I lost a dog to a either a Sasquatch or a dog man, and one of the
Oh,
two.
that's horrible.
I'm not sure what it was, but I lost a Rottweiler that actually ran to the back of my grandma's house and fought whatever was back there, and my dog ended up losing.
Oh, that's super sad. I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I was really close to him. His name was Zeus. He was a big Rottweiler.
Well,
So he says,
Mike, from all your other stories about that have something to do with Dogman, they're usually doing something with the head of a victim.
Mm.
So maybe they're like Predator. Maybe they like to collect skulls.
a lot of people do bring that up, and I've heard people say that they believe that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but they have said, they think that Sasquatch is more of a Peking Tom, and a werewolf dog man is more of a, when they unalive something, they take a trophy. They are trophy hunters. It's a trophy.
Yeah, I heard that dogmen like to play with their food or play with their kill or whatever, or like just tear it apart, shred it.
Kind of like a
Yeah.
cat. I guess a cat does that in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want to be no no mouse on the end of a dog, man.
Me either.
My skull looks good right where it is.
Yeah,
Mine
I'd like to
too.
keep.
Mine too.
I'd like to keep all my body parts right where they're at.
Christy said she doesn't know. She thinks I'd look good mounted up here.
Oh no!
She's gonna keep your head mounted on the wall later.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like,
Put some glow in the dark eyeballs in you.
Oh my. That'd be terrifying.
make sure you put
So-
the fangs in.
Oh yeah, we'll put the fangs in, and no, we'll just put a Jason Voorhees mask on you.
Okay.
Even better. Even better.
No,
No.
no, Michael, no.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I done it now. Sorry, Harold.
Harold, I like your gone squatching sign behind you.
Thank you. Yeah, we just got that.
It looks nice. I like it. Where'd you get it?
Hobby Lobby.
Oh, shoot. That's where I got all my stuff in my living room. I have a whole Sasquatch wall in my living room. And that's where I got everything. It's from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby rock.
We wanted to get more stuff, but we didn't have the money.
Hobby Lobby does rock.
I'm gonna have to go to Hobby Lobby now, I guess.
Yeah,
they
get
got
with the
stuff on
program,
sale,
Mike.
Mike.
Go to Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
Their
I'm
Bigfoot,
missing
their
out.
Bigfoot stuff is on sale.
Yep, it's always
Check it
on
out.
sale. And I'm always willing to buy it.
Maybe we
I have to
should
go check it
back
out.
to a pro.
Maybe I can get some more of my disability checks saved up, and I can go buy me some. So
Mike.
So, anyways, he says that night was a little bit worse than the previous night. He said we all had went into the kitchen and was playing cards, and then they started playing Monopoly. He said they like to play games as a family. He allows his kids to have the PlayStation and stuff like that, but he said they're very limited on the amount of time he allows them to play on it. He would rather they play the old board games and have family time, and then they're allotted their own time, to go play their games. So he said they're sitting at the table, something they've done every night, and He said, while we're sitting there playing, that's when we heard something really weird. He said, I heard something walking just outside the door. It sounded like something on two legs. I could hear the toenails on the cement as it was walking. This sounded so scary to me. My son and wife looked at me like, what the hell is that? He said, I told my wife, Julie, let's all go into the front room and watch some TV. I didn't want to frighten our son. I didn't want my son Rex to see me scared because I was scared also, he said, and I didn't want him to hear what I was hearing. The nails on the concrete outside, just by hearing it, was intimidating. So he says, we went into the front room and we turned on the TV, which I thought would kind of drown out the noise and we could all calm down as a family. And he said, while we were sitting in there watching it for a bit, and my son went to the kitchen to get a drink. He then came through the front room and said he was putting on his sweats for the night, and he would return back to the front room, which was nothing unusual. He would usually go put his sweats and he said a night shirt on as nighttime would come, getting ready for bed. He said he then came out of his room and he walked into the front room and he said, has anyone seen the dog? Now, at this point, he has not told his son what happened to the dog. He didn't want to tell him. And he said, I told him no. He said, I lied, but I didn't want to break his heart because I knew how much he loved the dog. I told him he must be out hunting. He said he wasn't in the house, but he was just at his window whining and he was wanting in. So I was wondering if anybody had seen him. Why was he at my window wanting in when I was putting on my sweats?
Uh-oh.
He was afraid he was injured. And I knew it couldn't be him, he said. And he kind of chuckled on the phone with me. And he's like, my son said he seen him jumping up on his window wanting in. But, I mean, I had just buried him myself.
Ew.
OMG, no.
Yeah. So,
But that's not the first time we've heard that happen either.
mm-mm. I
I'm
think
sorry, but
whatever, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, but if you hurt one of my fur babies, oh, you better hope that I can't find you. I don't care how big you are. My fur babies are my fur kids, okay?
Right. Yeah. And that's what he said. He said it was like an extension of the family that they lost. And I kind of think
Definitely.
what it was is I think it was trying to trick the kid into opening the window to let it in.
Oh no, that's horrible.
They're probably using the head of the dog and making it look like it's jumping up.
Oh, Harold, I never thought about that.
That is disturbing to think that something like that could, almost set a trap for you.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
So he said, I knew it couldn't be him because I had buried him myself. So I started walking over to where I buried him. I was outside with my flashlight and my shotgun to appease my family. And that's when I heard something that I will never forget, he said, till my dying day. He said, this is exactly what I heard come from the darkness. Rex, come here, buddy. He said it sounded like me, but was not me at all. But then I got to thinking, how did he know that his nickname was Rex? He said,
I thought he was talking about the dog.
He is. No,
Time to
whatever was out there called the dog by the nickname that he calls the dog, not by the dog's real name. He said he used to. Yeah, he said he used to call the dog Rex just to make his family mad because he didn't like, the name that they named him.
So that would mean whatever killed Rex was around and knew what he was calling him.
Yeah. And he said it plain as day too. Rex, come here, buddy.
Oh, time to move for sure.
Maybe they're playing keep away with Rex.
Yeah. He said it's.
Steve.
He said the weird thing was though is the voice sounded identical to my voice. He said it's
That is
almost.
creepy.
Oh yeah, he said it was almost like I was in the dark talking to myself.
Maybe it was a mimic. I don't know if anyone's heard of a mimic, but like some things are supposed to mimic your voice and they do a really good job.
See that kind of things. I've been outside at night and I've heard my name called. You know,
But they can also do that same thing too.
Yep, I've heard my name being called out in the woods.
I
I
have
have
too.
to. I have
And
to.
I've answered it too, and I know you're not supposed to, but I have.
Oh, I answered it too, and I followed it like a dummy by myself out in the woods.
Oh
But
wow.
I didn't find anything. I'm kind of too brave because and it's a fault because I just if something's calling me, I want to see what it is.
Calling you for dinner.
You know, Ray has a really good question, Harold, and I think this is a good talking point. Honestly, dude. She says, "So it's been watching the place. He's been leaking or peeking in the window, but fiercely kills the dog. Why? Then back to peeking and playing.
Yeah,
Playing
it's just
games.
odd.
They like to play games.
Yeah, that's true. They do. I think it might be a dog man. That's just my guess because I think that they play more games than Bigfoot or that kind of way, at least.
Well, also, um, I don't want to say the name, but it's also will try to play games with you too. So if it's
Wow.
not a dog man, it could be a skin.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Wow, you know, they kill anything that gives the presence away and anything that means something to you, like your dog. So they do it to hurt you also.
Yeah,
And then
that
Dana agrees with you, Amanda. She says it's a dog man.
yeah, that's just what I feel like it is.
I think a lot of times in the past where people have found their pets unalived, they've mistaken it for a Sasquatch doing it, and I don't believe that most Sasquatch will off your pets.
See, I think I agree with you, Harold. I think that it's something else that's hurting the pets. But I mean, I'm not saying that Bigfoot isn't capable of it, but I just feel like I feel it in my gut that it's just not a Sasquatch.
You know, I would agree because my mom, I'll tell you all a story. And thank you, Larry, for that donation. God bless you for that. They had a little dog that they kept in the house. And they had multiple things that would come up to their house also. But this night, Granny said it was a Bigfoot. And whenever the Bigfoot would come up, this little dog was not scared. It was raining outside, it was storming outside, and this little dog wanted outside so bad. So they opened the door and they let the little dog out. The little dog's out for a while, pouring down rain, thunderstorm, you know, in the middle of the country. Scratches at the door, they let the dog in. The dog is dry. Something was taking care of the dog. Now, there's more to that story I can't tell on YouTube. I would have to tell you on Patreon because there's other parts to that story. But the gist of it is that dog did not fear what was outside. It actually wanted to be with what was outside, and what was outside was taking care of it to a point.
You'll notice you'll notice on most videos where people are filming a Sasquatch from a distance away and their dog goes around after it. Most of the time those dogs will come running back and the Sasquatch will go taking off the other way. They don't want confrontation.
I wonder,
they avoid confrontation by all costs.
do you think they're kind of like the other animals, you know, the predators in the woods, that they would rather take the weaker prey because they know that if they do get hurt trying to take something down, that eventually that could cost them their life and then they become the hunted?
Yeah, if they get injured and they leave a blood trail back to their den, then that puts all the rest of them in danger. So they're going to try to avoid being injured at all costs. So
Yeah, I agree with that, Harold.
Right. And then, Ray says again, look how many reports of Bigfoot coming into yards and porches to get dog food and to make friends with dogs, probably nibbling, fallen food. I
Yep.
think that's a very good statement. I think that your pig farms, your cattle farms, there's food. You're putting food out for livestock. There's free food, free meal. And how many times have you heard people say, we went out to feed the cattle, and when we went out to feed the cattle, we thought that was a cow out there until we started getting close to it, and it raises up and runs off into the woods. It was actually grazing with the cattle. I mean, they know that they can fit in with these creatures and blend in. What's to say, that the dogman and the werewolves aren't running with coyote packs? You hear this. When I'm out doing boots on the ground, I'll get this weird scream. You can tell it's not a coyote or a wolf.
Yep.
It tries to sound like it, but when it does it, all the other coyotes get fired up. Is it because he's running with them? And when he does that, the coyotes are used to, okay, whenever he makes that noise, that means, he's fixing to attack, or he's going to, it's honestly, the more I think about it, the scarier it gets whenever you actually start investigating and you start finding small things that you
Yeah,
don't think about,
Yeah, what if they all work together? Like that would be scary if they all got
I
the
wouldn't
wolf.
see. I mean, I agree. I mean, what if they raise these coyotes as somewhat of their pets,
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, can I say hi to Larry because he said hi to me? Thank
Oh,
you,
sure.
Larry.
yeah, now when I said most Sasquatch will take the high road instead of confronting, not Googway. Googway is a whole different story.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Those things scare me.
Yeah, those things are evil.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Yeah, I don't want to run into one of them.
Me neither.
I
Or a
stood
dog
right
man.
next to one. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That was the scariest moment of my life.
That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah, I think if somebody had a whole lot of encounters with one of those, they'd probably end up in an asylum.
Yeah,
Dawn says
I
there's a
wouldn't be right in the
horse
head
in,
anymore.
God, I'm going to butcher that. Chillicothe, Ohio, maybe, where a horse was attacked in the barn by a dogman and then dragged to a creek and left for the owner to find. Dawn, I wrote about. I wrote about that. I read about that, man. I actually done a story over that, and he had a hard time getting the authorities to help him, didn't he? If I remember right, they.
I think I heard that too.
Yeah, I think they gave him a hard time.
And if I recall, Chillicothe is not a very big, 22,000 population. Because I heard two other stories out of that. Interesting. I need to dig into that a little bit.
Ohio has so much
Yeah, it does.
paranormal and stuff that goes on in Ohio. There's so much stuff. I thought California was bad.
But I mean, specifically Chillicothe, that's one of the places I actually have a story out of about a weird house that I was looking into, and I just find that Chillicothe, Ray Boyd says.
Chillicothe.
Chillicothe?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Chillicothe. Huh. Thank you, Dawn. We appreciate that.
Chillicothe. Okay.
Sometimes I wonder. My the family friend that went around to the back of my granny's house that night saw that creature that looked at him and said hello. Sometimes I wonder if that was not a Googway. I've wondered that.
Who knows?
He said, it wasn't scared of him. It just kind of like was shoving food in its mouth. Food was running down it, and it looks at him, cocks its head a little bit, does the smile, and it says, hello.
Oh, heck no.
And he said, I was gone, man. He's like, I didn't hang out because he said, I knew if it wanted to unalive me, it would have no problem doing it.
Oh, they wouldn't have any problem unaliving any of us at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, it sounded like me in the dark, and I heard something run, and then I heard barbed wire, and the barbed wire fence snapped and made that noise like something had crossed it to go into the field. He said that was enough for me. He says, so I went back into the house and I told him I didn't see him. But he said, I did tell him, hold on, let me check one last time, because his son is really adamant about the dog needs to be in the house. The dog needs to be in the house because the dog sleeps in his bedroom on the floor by his bed. And he says, so I told him, okay, let me go look one more time. So he says, I walk outside and I start whistling for the dog. He said, I know in my mind that the dog ain't coming, but I'm trying to, put my son at ease. And he said, I hear coyotes growling just across the fence into the darkness. I'm questioning if it was even coyotes. So he says, I take my 16 gauge and I fire it over their head. They take off running. Whatever it was, took off running. He said, so then I went back into the house and I told him, he's not out there, but there was a whole bunch of coyotes and there may be a female coyote in heat and he may be running with them. Now he said, Mike, and this is what he said, and he wanted to make sure the viewers, he said, Mike, this part may be hard for your viewers. It is hard for me to even tell you. So another warning to the viewers. He said, we all had calmed down and we were watching the movie, The Green Mile. My son went to the kitchen to get something to snack on. I then noticed he had been gone for quite a few minutes. Then he yelled, Dad, help, hurry. Rex is hurt.
What the heck?
He said, I got goosebumps all over my body when he yelled that because I had no idea what he was looking at. He said, when I walked into the kitchen, I seen something that will make you wish you didn't even live in the country. This was so damn scary that I actually got physically sick. My son was knelt down at the doggy door,
Oh.
petting Rex's head that was sticking through the doggy door. He said, Dad, he is hurt and he can't get in. He has mud all over him and he's got blood on him. He looked terrible. He said, I screamed, oh my God. I told my son to go to the front room with his mom now. He said, Dad, he needs help. I told him I would help him, but he may have rabies and that he needed to get away from the dog. At that time, the head was going in and out of the doggy door like it was trying to get in but couldn't.
Oh, hell no.
Time to move for sure.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
That's heartbreaking. A poor
That
kid.
That is so heartbreaking.
Again, it's like it is smart enough to, I mean, the child evidently was fooled enough that he was knelt down at the door petting this dog.
And what's to say that, I mean, as a kid, not knowing, if your dog is having issues getting into the door that normally would normally be able to get into the door, what's to stop that child from grabbing a hold and trying to pull the dog in? Maybe that's all it was trying to do was
And pull the
making sure-
kid out with it.
Yep, making sure he had a grasp on the dog's head and was going to pull him right out that doggy door.
Oh,
Yes.
Jess, you just made it all worse.
Just
And
saying.
then Tim was like, tell your son to go wash his hands, absolutely. And
Oh.
like what Sharon says, trying to lure the child, it's trying to
Yeah,
lure the child.
Trying to get the child to open the door.
Oh my, what a smart creature though. I mean, to do all that, like to have the knowledge to put the dog's head through the doggy door, like, and pull it back out and put it back. I mean, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
This may bother some people, so a warning.
Okay.
He said, when I knew my son was safe and my son had went to the front room, I lost my computer, so I'll just have to do this with just a camera. For some reason, we lost it again. He said, I knew my son was safe. He was in the front room with his mom. I knew there was no way in hell that this dog was alive. And I'd done something that made my wife and my son hate me for a few days. I pulled my 16 gauge up and I shot the dog right in the head. It exploded all over the door in the kitchen. Stuff was dripping from everywhere.
You.
My wife and son started screaming. I'm pretty sure I had traumatized them because I had just shot the family dog and exploded him all over the kitchen. My wife was bawling, screaming, "What have you done? What have you done? Have you lost your effing mind?" He said she went into a complete rage. In that moment, something happened that changed my wife's attitude. As I was standing there with stuff dripping all off of the door, a large human bear like arm reaches through the doggy door and grabbed my leg. This
This could
happened.
be a horror movie.
Yeah.
Now imagine
Like-
actually living through it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. He said, this happened so fast, I wasn't even able to actually react except for to jerk my leg away from whatever had reached his hand through the door, but it ended up cutting the back of my leg. I pointed the shotgun at the door and I fired the other barrel of the shotgun, which I had loaded with a slug. I kept buckshot in one side and I kept a slug in the other. The slug was all I had left. As I shot through the door, I heard a noise. Something made a noise like, "Ugh," like it was hit. Then I saw a black object move away from the door through the hole that I had just made with the slug through the door, and it was like an animal growl with a man's voice mixed in with a gurgle. So he said, of course, I went straight inside and we called the game warden. When the game warden arrived, he told everybody that it was probably just a mountain lion that had dug up the dog, seen it as a food source, and whenever we came to the kitchen door, it was probably eating it there, and that's why it attacked me. I knew better, but I didn't want to argue with him because it seemed like the more that I would argue with him, the more stern he would get. And honestly, Mike, I honestly started to feel a little bit threatened by him. I was taken to the hospital, and I have been given my round of rabies shots. The warden set out poison at our home and hamburger meat, and they have been patrolling. It has not been back. The cut on my leg will not heal. It gets close and then it busts open again. It is never ending. I'm hoping to get it fixed soon by a specialist I'm going to be seeing in Tulsa. Please be careful, Mike, in these flooded areas while you're out boots on the ground. I believe these creatures will put up with you more when it's not flooded, but right now they seem to be on edge, and I think pushing them at any little bit could cause something really bad to happen. The other night, I heard the howl again, but we haven't been going outside to even mess with it. I will keep you updated as my leg heals. Your neighbor, Daryl, and family.
Sheesh.
If it ever heals.
Right.
Game wardens always are just so quick to be like, oh, it's a mountain lion. Oh, it's a bear. No, it's not.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, are they trained to say that, you know?
I think they are. I think they are. I think that they have to say that. Like, even if they don't believe it and they believe that it's something else, they can't even tell you what they would think because if they do, they'll lose their job.
or more.
Yeah, or more.
You know, the IQ of these things, it makes you think the more you go boots on the ground. Because whenever I first would have, started going boots on the ground, even living at my granny's where we had it at the house quite a bit, there's a difference whenever you have it at a house and then whenever you actually go to its house. And I would have never have thought in a million years that they would run with coyotes or mix in with the cows, or I would have always thought that it would have spooked those things off, that they wouldn't have been, accepting to them. But you hear so many stories of people seeing it that you have to take it into account that it has to be possible. And, a horse or whatever, over time, they, even on a farm, they learn that the animals they're raised with are supposed to be there and they're not going to hurt them, and they become tolerant of it. So do the cows become tolerant of these creatures because they are around so much and it becomes normal?
Yeah, makes sense to me. Any animal, if it's around another animal long enough, can like usually coexist, usually.
Hmm.
Hi, Tyler 420.
Yeah, and bears get a bad rap. Bears are always blamed.
They do, and it's sad because they're so quick to just be like, oh, it was a bear, and then go and kill whatever bears they find.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden a helicopter shows up and they flew it away, and oh, well,
Yep.
why did you do that? Oh, we're going to test it for rabies and make sure it was, that it was okay because it was acting erratic and it's not how bears normally act, So we want to make sure it's not crazy,
Right? Yeah.
Why did it take a schnook then?
Exactly. Why'd you have to carry it out with a big ass helicopter? You could have just thrown it in the back of your truck.
Right. I mean, I was being goofy one night and threatened to spank one of them, and I got busted in the face with a limb.
Oh.
And you probably didn't see that live, but yeah, I was actually physically. I was cut. Got a black eye. It cut my face, my arm. It smacked me pretty good. I mean, it probably could have hit me a whole lot harder. But
Yeah, it could have jumped out and grabbed you and put you
oh
over.
yeah,
Yeah, it's better than it running off with you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Turn me into a pretzel.
Turning you into a spaghetti thing. Spaghetti ball.
I'm just
Chicken bag burrito.
I'm just glad that whatever it hit me with seemed to be more of a branch than a club. Because if it would have used a club, it probably would have knocked me out. Because when it hit me, it knocked the lights off my head. It knocked the camera phone out of my hand. I mean, it hit me pretty good. I was bleeding, and my eye was swollen. It gave me a black eye. It's the first black eye I'd had in a long time.
Oh my goodness. If it wanted to, it could have knocked your head off. So, I mean, you're lucky.
T-ball. Yeah. I mean,
If it really wanted to hurt you, it would have grabbed a deer leg.
Wow.
Smack you with a deer leg. Knock you out.
wow. And Steve says history tells of dog-headed humanoids that used to live alongside of man. They couldn't talk verbally, but used sign language, I guess. There is a saint that was a dog-headed. After time, they were driven away.
I believe that too. Yeah. It's in history. It's all over history, the dog-headed things. It's been there from the beginning of time.
I believe so, Steve. I believe that they've been here, like what Amanda just said, since the beginning, since the corruption of the DNA. And
Oh yeah, me too, Steve. 100%.
the longer something is away from society, the wilder it gets. I mean, I think they've done a study on feral hogs. You can take a domesticated hogs, release them in the wild, and after they have generation after generation, they will change.
They'll
Their
become
snouts,
feral.
Oh yeah, their snouts will grow longer. You'll start having that long snout like the Russian hogs do. You will start getting a thicker, what they call a thicker plate on their shoulders and stuff. They grow large. They're larger and leaner than what you would keep at a farm. They're more muscular. They become a whole different beast. I mean, they're running down deer and rabbits and roadkill and snakes and whatever else they can find, and they become. Most people think whenever a hog would attack somebody, and this is what's scary is they attack somebody and they just eat them. That's true to a point, but the scary part is most of the time the way they kill you is they run between your legs and they will cut your artery with their tusk. So you start pumping out, your Kool-Aid, and the other ones get very excited because of that. It's like a dinner bell, the smell of that, and then they consume you alive. That is one of the dangers of hunting wild hogs.
Well, I know that at hog farms they eat everything, like everything. That's what I've heard.
Oh, I remember we'd go catfishing. I remember Grandpa cleaning catfish. You know how hard a catfish's head is. He'd
Yeah.
take a big old catfish head and throw it over in the hog pasture. They'd pick it up and crunch it like corn nuts.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, no
Yeah.
problem, no problem.
I've heard of farmers disappearing, and the sheriff's department goes and investigates, and there's no sign of the person around. Well, first thing they do is they go to the hogs. They go.
Yep.
They're like, okay, what time do you feed the hogs? Okay, let's go investigate, and then they end up finding human remains in the hog stomachs.
Yep, I've heard that too, Harold.
Yeah, my grandpa used to raise hogs, and he said he went out one time, and the only thing that saved his life is whenever Grandpa would go out and feed the hogs, he would always take a pitchfork. And a lot of people get a tater fork and a pitchfork confused, but he took a pitchfork, the sharp, skinnier prongs, and he said he was out there feeding, and an old boar turned and tried to eat him. It tried to grab his pants leg and was coming after him. And he said the only thing that saved him was he ran that pitchfork into his ear, and he said it squealed and ran off. And he said after that he learned, don't let them get you cornered in there when you're feeding, because if they get you cornered, it'd be bad.
Yep.
Ray says, do you think when God told Gideon to take his men to the water and see who cupped water and who lapped water, that those were a dogman army? I think
Interesting.
that there is a great possibility that could be true. I think that there was a lot of things that happened. I'm not going to say that it's not in the Bible, but I don't think it's taught. It's just not something that they like to talk about. But, I think as time goes on, the veil gets thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, and we're getting closer to the end of time. A lot of people are seeing things dancing in the skies, the stars and everything. What if what we're dealing with is, and I'm just going to speculate for a second, but what if what we're dealing with is actually not the full-blood Nephilim, but the Eliads, the descendants of the Nephilim blood? But as in the days of Noah, shall it be in the end here? What happens again if the angels do that again, which God says it will be in those days? Someday on earth, are we going to deal with the full-blooded Nephilim again?
I mean, if history repeats itself, so
I hope not.
I hope not either, but who knows what we're going to deal with. I believe the veil is getting
Well,
so thin.
God says that the beast will return. So,
do you think that there's so many possibilities. I mean, that could even go as far as to be as, that could be part of what's going to wipe out a third of humanity, is going to be the beasts that come out of the woods whenever it's finally said, Dinner time.
Oh, Mike, I always think about that. I always think, what if all the Bigfoots or Dogmans or all the whatevers out in the woods just all decided, oh, it's time now. Let's go do what we need to do to all these humans. I mean, of
Right.
course, there's way more humans, but we don't know what their powers are or what they're capable of.
Yeah, it says that in the end, blood will run in the streets like rivers. So
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It reminds me kind of, Harold, of that movie. What was that movie with Will Smith was in it? Had that German Shepherd.
yeah,
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Imagine that, you know.
Oh,
mhm.
no.
You
I
know,
don't want
during
to
the
imagine that.
during the daytime you're fine, but when dark comes, everything switches around. You go from the hunter to the hunted.
Yeah, if you go in the
Man.
shadows in the daytime, you could be eaten.
That would mess my clock all up. I
Oh,
like the nighttime.
yeah, that's the way I am. And you know, when I'm out there sometimes in the daytime in the woods, and this probably happened to you guys too, do you ever see a part of the woods that really kind of bothers you, like a darker looking section, and you're like, you just, it ain't that you're afraid to go in there, it's you just don't feel comfortable there.
100%.
Yeah, because if you go over there, there might be something that thought the same thing.
I get the feeling all the time.
Like, I want to go over there and check it out.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I always want to go check it out, and I usually do.
That's my problem, is I think I might go a little too far, but when you're right there, I mean, people say, "Are you scared?" Hell yeah, I'm scared. I get scared out there, and I know, whenever it's time for me to quit, when it's time to retreat, I've ran, I've left, but then there's some other times that when you're close to your vehicle, and it may be a false sense of security, but you're like, okay, I'm close to my vehicle, maybe I can push this a little further, and I can get something on film. Just
Mhm.
that little bit. And it's probably a false sense of security because, you're 50 yards from your vehicle, you're not going to outrun it.
Maybe get in
It's
your
the
vehicle
same
and then
thing.
report it.
It's the same thing you think when you're fishing. One more cast, one more
Right.
cast.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you watch, Amanda, where I was in my vehicle where something started shaking my vehicle and it looked in the driver's side door at me?
No, I just started watching you because Tyler 420 is the one that brought me over to your channel, and I'm super grateful that he did because I absolutely love you and Jess. But I haven't seen a lot of the old stuff. I've seen only the things that you've seen me pop up on recently, but I'm gonna
Right.
go back and watch your old stuff for sure.
That was not a fun night. I didn't know something was looking in the window. I think Jesse seen it, but something started physically shaking my Durango, and I left that night. I'll admit it. I left. I was like, "Oop, we're done. We're leaving."
Yeah, just always listen to your gut. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what if your gut says go, it's time to go.
Especially when it's sloshing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it's moving your car all around. It might be a little too late. You need to get going.
And could you imagine? Could you imagine if at that time, your car didn't start, like your ground battery or
Oh
something, was a
gosh.
little bit loose, or when it shook it, it made it, more unloose, and then you
Or
couldn't get a connection.
you go to
Mike,
start
you
it.
remind
You
me
go
of
to
me.
start it, and you look out the front window, and Dogman's standing there going,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh heck no.
Well, I'd have to replace my front window, and I'd probably be deaf the rest of my life.
Mike,
I
I still
don't.
want to come to Oklahoma and go out with you though. I'm not scared.
Well, there's a lot of places to go, but you couldn't do it right now. You'd have to have a snorkel and some swimming gear.
Some scuba gear.
I'm,
Scuba
you
diving.
know, I love the rain, and I love it to flood a little bit because the catfish and stuff. But right now, it's just absolutely just a mess. It's just,
Mhm.
I mean, fields are underwater, roads are underwater, bridges. Our bridges. I don't know if you watched, but Harold will probably remember, and Jesse. Y'all remember that bridge I went to down there where we got all the EVPs that y'all would see? It had the silver rails, remember? And I would show you off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even see the top rails of it right now. It's gone.
Oh wow.
It's underwater. It's completely gone. I went down there
Ohio
the other day.
Ohio
crazy.
right now is really flooded too. In Ohio, like I don't know if you guys watch Dee's Dark Adventures?
I've
No.
seen her. Yeah, I've seen her a
Oh,
few
okay.
times.
Well, I watch her and like she goes out and like it's so flooded right now where she goes. Like she has to slosh through the muck and stuff.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this where this bridge is underwater, there was logs actually going over where the bridge should be the other day.
Wow.
It's I went on. I know you wasn't watching. It's been a while back. It was back in last summer. I went to a new place I'd never been. I think Harold was watching, and I actually stepped off of a hole I didn't see and ended up in water and had to swim out of it.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that's pretty scary, when you can't see, and next thing you know, you're in water.
At least you know how to swim, Mike.
Yeah. It was more of the surprise of just boom, you're in water.
Oh yeah, that's terrifying. Like when you're like I remember going to the lake as a kid and there'd be a drop off and you'd just be walking and then all of a sudden you drop off and you go deep down and you're like, "Oh my God." Like freak out.
I'm just glad I didn't have all my gear on that night that I usually carry. That might have been a little harder to swim out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. That would make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then
Bigfoot.
Amanda. Then a month from now, it's going to be like 110 degrees outside. So.
Oh yeah. Here in Cali right now, well today I think it was 102 today in Chico, California where I live.
Wow.
Yeah. I stayed inside.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
The humidity is. What was it they were saying today, Harold? Like we're going to be in the 90s, but the humidity is going to be like 105.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one good thing about California. We don't have humidity like you guys do in the South. Like, but it's hot though, and it's like dry hot.
Right. Here it's hard to breathe. You feel like you're trying to breathe water vapor.
Here it's hard to breathe too, but it feels like you can't get any oxygen because it's just so dry. Like there's no air sometimes.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Between the dry air and the humid air, I prefer the dry heat.
See,
But-
and that's funny because I think I would prefer the humid heat, but that's because I live in the dry heat. We always prefer what we don't have.
Oh yeah.
Well, I realized that when I lived in Arizona, there was a huge difference. But
Oh yeah, Arizona is hot.
yeah,
Yeah. But then
Always.
here, you have the heat, the humidity, and then the bugs on top of it. Yeah.
That's the one thing also that I like about here in Cali is that we don't have like chicks and tigers and all those bugs that you guys have out there. I don't know how I'd handle that, but
Oh wow. Steve, have you had anything happen at your house since you live so close to there? That's got to be a scary place right there.
Steve, I want to come over.
Wow. We may have to have Steve on the show if he wants to come on. That place interests me. I watched that whole series that they done.
I
on
did
that.
too, Mike. I absolutely love that series. It's so good.
That is. I want to go down to Harold's location too, if I can get around to it, and I want to go to the parallel forest with him since he's been there.
Oh yeah.
Sometime you guys should come, like to Chico or close by, and I can take you guys to Mount Shasta. That's like my second home. I love Mount Shasta. It's so beautiful, and there's a lot of paranormal stuff that happens there. A lot.
oh yeah.
I gotta
Isn't
get.
that like number one hot spot? That seems to be a lot of the places too for like Dave Pilates'
Yeah.
investigation.
Yes. A lot of stuff happens in Mount Shasta, but I'm not afraid of it. You just don't go above the tree line. I mean, that's what we've been told since I can remember. Just don't go above the tree line and you'll be okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I get
You
that.
know where
I
I'd
get
be
that.
going, right?
I get that ambulance. I'll just pick up Harold and we'll head to Mount Shasta.
Yeah. Pick me up on the way because I'm in Chico. We'll all just go there and I'll be your guys' tour guide.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, I would love to visit a lot of places. One of my and I think it's probably on most people's bucket list is Folk, Arkansas.
Oh, I love Arkansas. I've only been to Arkansas one time because I have family there, but I loved Arkansas. But they have lots of bugs there too. But they have fireflies. The
Oh
first time I
yeah,
ever seen fireflies, I was so excited about that.
I usually eat a bug about every life.
Me and Christy were about 15 miles away from Folk when we went. What was it, last year?
Yeah, November.
In November last year. Yeah, and that forest, even 15 miles away from there, was pretty spooky.
Yeah, Arkansas is spooky or spooky. The
And I want
forests
to go
there are
there.
spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful though. I think it's beautiful.
I
No,
would love to go.
Mike,
Yeah.
you and you guys need to go with us down there to where is it? Tallahena. In the
Oklahoma's beautiful too, guys.
I've heard a lot of that, Tallahena. That's where the Bigfoot Museum's at, right?
Yeah.
There's should be a poster of me in there. I think she's got hung up.
Jess, you live in Oklahoma too, right?
No,
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Nope.
Where do you live?
I live
I
in
mean, you
Wisconsin.
don't have to tell.
No, at this point, honestly, most people that have been stalking already know. So I live in
Oh,
Wisconsin.
okay. Oh, okay. Wisconsin. You know what? It's funny. Like, to be honest, I know nothing about Wisconsin at all.
The more I dig into stuff around here, the more I realize I know less and less about Wisconsin myself. So
It's funny how there's some states that just are like truly known. Like, I think Oklahoma is a known state, California, but then there's some states that just like barely get any, that people don't really talk about.
yeah. Well, I guess it depends on the state you're from too, because
Yeah.
I never heard a whole lot coming out of Oklahoma until abnormal investigations. So now it's like everything is Oklahoma.
I was shocked when I heard how much stuff happens in Ohio. Ohio. You know what I mean? You wouldn't think that I didn't even think Ohio was that big.
Oh yeah, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin, all around the Great Lakes is just super, super heavy activity.
Yep. Anywhere by water has a lot of activity. At least that's what I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure does.
And Larry's exactly right. Larry probably remembers I covered that story in Texas about the lady that was, they said, attacked by hogs, and there was canine-like prints there. And Larry's exactly right and Larry knows, he was in law enforcement. Whenever they use the words "like," they are leaving loopholes to be able to indoctrinate you to believe what they want you to, and you have to be careful with that. Larry's got a lot of experience. Larry is. I would love to pick his brain someday. Larry, I'm sure, has a lot of knowledge on a lot of things.
Well, guys, I've had a great time, and I'm so glad that I did this because I've been so scared to do a live or get on anyone's live. I get so nervous. But this turned out really good. But I gotta make my son some dinner. He's sitting here staring at me like a little puppy. So
You have a great night, Amanda.
thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming in and your support and everything.
We'll
do it again.
Great. Heck yeah, anytime.
We'll do it again sometime.
All right. Have
All
a
right.
great night, you guys.
Good
You
night.
too. Good night.
Night.
Good night. Yeah, Steve, let's see. Message me the email address. Steve needs the email address. Let me see if I can. I don't know if let me see.
I was saying goodnight to them.
Can he not? He can't copy the. Nope.
So Harold, how is the parallel forest? Would that be a pretty fun time?
Oh yeah. It's not very big, but there's a lot of area surrounding it that you would definitely be like, yeah, I want to go in there. Like, let's go through the forest and then let's go over there.
So, like, is it not real big?
No, it's probably the size of a 1.5 football fields.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That makes me even more interested now. It's like, okay, so my next question is, hello, why is it there? What is the reason for it?
The government back during the drought, when they had the great drought in Oklahoma, they decided to test out planting trees 6 feet apart, all in straight lines. So every tree that's in that area is planted 6 feet apart and all in parallel straight lines in every direction. So they thought that would cut down the wind and keep a lot of the dust and sand and dirt from building up. So
they were trying to kind of keep it from having another dust bowl, maybe.
yeah, it was their experiment to see if they could actually stop the dust bowl. So of course it didn't work, but.
So what's your theory on it? Do you think that's really what they was doing, or do you think they were up to something else there?
If they were up to something else, I believe they were probably testing theories on the energy fields, because when you go in there, the energy's totally different. It's as soon as if you're in it and you step outside of it, it's totally different. You feel it right away when you step in or step out. It's you just feel different. You can go in without a headache, and as soon as you walk in, probably about 10 steps in, you start getting a headache. Or you can go in with a headache and walk in and you won't have a headache. It works different on different people.
Don't they have like a bone fireplace in there too?
You mean the altar?
There you go.
That's what they call it.
They have a what they call the altar. It's not right in the parallel forest. It's off from it a little ways, down into a creek area. But people use it as a satanic altar. But it's actually grindstones. It's the Spanish built grindstones all over the refuge when they were doing their mining, so they can grind the stone down and get the gold out of it. So they just left them there, and over the years, people have done stuff like that with it. So,
have you ever got a chance to take any readings down there to see if it has any?
No, not me personally. I know several other groups that have. Of course, I didn't have the equipment when I was going into there. I just had my cell phone. But you go in there, you start hearing. One thing that'll set you off is you start hearing the trees rubbing against each other, because they're so close together. The tops of the trees will rub. So people freak out about that. They're like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" You know. And then if you're used to hearing that stuff, you start hearing the actual noises from other things than the trees. And yeah, I've been growled at. I've been I want to say hissed at, but it was like kind of growling, a hiss kind of mix. But there's all kinds of trees that have been uprooted. They're just laying on their sides right next to where they were pulled out. I got in my video, I went down to touch one to show people in the video. As soon as I did that, I got growled at. Um,
That's where I fell on my ass after we got done videoing.
yeah.
I know other people that do that too who don't feel bad.
It was muddy and my shoes weren't that great. I didn't have any hiking boots. It was just a pair of regular old tennis shoes, and they didn't have very good grip, and it was muddier than hell. And so I tried to catch myself, and then all of a sudden I was
I
on my
didn't.
ass, and I looked at Harold and said, "So glad you didn't catch it on camera."
That night I fell in the water. I was like, "Oh, that's great," because I mean I fell right in it, just boom, and I was like, "Oh well, it happens, right?" I mean, everybody falls.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah.
But if you go in there, and if you go in there for the first time, you don't want to go by yourself because people do have a tendency to get lost, even though it's not that big of an area, because the trails do wind around in a circle. Most of the trails do. The main trails will cut right through it. If you follow, they have game trails and everything that actually go in a circle all the way into the center.
Good night, Silver Bullet.
And that's where a lot of people are mistaken. They think if I follow these trails, it's going to take me to the altar. Like, no, you have to go off one of the straight main trails to go find the altar, and it's not. None of the other trails will lead you to it. You have to go right down the center, and I think it's to the south, the southeast.
We didn't make it that far.
Yeah, we didn't make it that far. I've been all the way around there. I just never made it to the altar. But you go down the southeast corner and out beyond the trees, and there's a creek that winds off to the direct south. So you go in that, and it's a very deep creek. So there's one way in, one way out on that end. But if you go down there and then you go up over the creek on the other side, there's one area where you can actually climb back out, and then the altar's in those trees on that side. So if anybody ever wants to go looking for it,
there's a grinding stone, right? Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. There's I believe they said 8 of them in the whole refuge. Not all of them are whole, but the one outside the parallel forest is whole. It's still set up like you can grind stones in it.
We'll have to have Jess come down here and bring her equipment, and so we could do like EVP, whatever they're called.
And we could all dance the Macarena.
Sure.
And there's this person that runs a Facebook group page about the Wichita Mountains, and they posted a picture once. Well, I took that picture, I copied it, and then I blew it up on my computer, and I actually spotted a brown colored, it looked to be Bigfoot crouching down in the thick brush right behind the grindstone.
Oh, wow.
And then off to the right of it, there was a blue light.
Yes, Talahina is awesome. Even though at night it's creepier than hell.
It almost makes me wonder if that grindstone or that altar holds a magnetic force right there.
Oh yeah. Well, you can imagine all the minerals that have been grinded on that, the collection of metals that have attached themselves to those rocks would be giving off a little bit more energy than most of the area around. But it's actually, if you're standing next to the grindstones, the energy is greater there than actually on the grindstone. So when you're around it, You can feel like an energy field all the way around it.
Yeah, that's a bucket list trip.
And then there's an entity that supposedly makes itself known if you stand there long enough. It makes itself known. That's what I've heard, but I didn't experience it because I've never actually been to the grindstone myself.
Michelle wanted to ask you, Harold, does that water have any gators in it?
In the Wichita Mountains.
Yeah, the creek that's
Yeah,
over there by
the creek.
I personally saw a 12-foot gator in one of the lakes that all those lakes in that area connect by creeks. So if there's a gator in one lake, it can access the others through the creeks.
And then Romans asked what we were discussing, the parallel forest in Lawton.
Yeah,
Wichita Mountains.
I was going to fish at I was staying indoors campground in the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge, and one morning I got up to go fishing. I took all my fishing gear. I was going to go to there's a bridge that crosses Lake Quanah-Parker, and it goes to the Science Center on the other side, and it's a long bridge, and then it's a long walk after the bridge. But I go to the bridge to go fishing. Well, I get to the bridge, well, almost to the bridge. I'm in the primitive camping area, and the bridge is in my sight, and I look over on this side of the bridge, and I see a alligator's tail go whack on the side, and then it rushes into the water. And just by the tail, I could tell that it was at least a 12-foot gator.
Wow.
I still went fishing.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't not fish.
You cannot not.
No, because the area is really.
That's
good
right. Not.
Okay.
That area has largemouth bass and big catfish. So yeah.
He wants to go fishing now. You just said fishing, so he's all, let's go.
And that's a place you don't want to bust your ass at when there's 12-foot alligators.
Right.
No,
well, not on the bridge.
The bridge goes. It's almost like a marsh right there where the bridge is. So the water is almost up to the bridge, right? And you've got cattails everywhere. You've got lily pads. You've got the water grass coming up, and there's snakes that are sunbathing in the grass. So, and they're right up next to the bridge. Most people are like, "Ooh, snake!" And I'm like, "What? This thing?
Ew!
It's a water snake."
Sharon says, "Have you ever seen those staircases in the woods, Harold?"
Staircases, like, outside of the refuge. You can't count the refuge because the CCP built staircases into the mountains and trails and all that. So outside of that, no, I haven't seen staircases in the woods.
If you find a bent over tree in the woods, Harold, like it's bent completely over, will you walk through it and under it?
Are you crazy?
I used to.
I do it.
Do you walk through an X too, or in a teepee?
Well, yeah, sometimes, but sometimes whenever I walk through it, I'll end up like in another place, and then I have to turn around and walk back through it. Not really, but yeah, I have walked through it before. Hey, I did find something really weird though, out in the middle of nowhere, and it may not be weird. It may have been a home site, many years ago. But there's large trees, not young trees. These are large trees that are grown all close together. It's a swampy area. And for some weird reason, somebody built a gate, like an arched gate out there that faces right into the sun.
Wow.
I've walked through it before. And well, because you remember that night whenever I found that circle that had that witchcraft stuff drawn in it and stuff. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Same place. The gate's just on the other side.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that gate goes with that circle. If they're believing that they're opening up things by doing their little ceremonies and they're walking through the gate, or maybe bringing things in through the gate. I don't know.
More than likely, it is connected. It's in the same area. Well,
Either way, up to no good.
yeah.
I think we could probably take Christy down there and let her walk through on like a full moon.
Sure.
And we could give her like a hello.
Oh, I gotta show Jen just my hat. Oh yeah, show just your hat. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say if you decide to come down to Lawton or come down this way and go to Lawton, we'll do it in like the fall time or early springtime because you go down there and you're gonna roast marshmallows because it's like 15 degrees hotter than it is here down there.
Yeah, we'll have to do that in the cooler weather. I'm not a fan of the heat. I just don't like the heat.
This is Cammie's new hat.
Cute. I like that. What's on the wait? I can't see the bottom ring of it. Oh,
Here, see if
that's pretty.
That's cool.
they're both off the machine.
Okay.
Yeah, she thinks she's wifey material.
Oh,
It hurt me. Ow.
But Mike, if we do go down there to the parallel forest,
Yeah, I had to get the extra
there's
battery
one
pack,
other
so I
place.
didn't have my normal.
I mean, there's several other places that, but there's one other place that you definitely would have to go. The Sharon Garden area.
Oh, that's a cool place.
That's where I got pictures of that giant X.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the giant X was just up over the steps, and you go, what was it, probably 30 yards
I don't know.
into the trail, and
On the left-hand
it was
side.
off to the left hand side of the trail, and then just beyond that is a giant mound.
Cammie,
There's
Nanny
a
Pants,
giant
she liked
mound
it.
there. I haven't had the opportunity to go on the mound or around it, but
Sharon Grimes says it too.
that's where I got a rock thrown at me.
Oh
It was
wow.
right near the mound. It was me and Jimmy Williams and his dad. Jimmy Williams from Cryptid Quest. Jimmy's Cryptid Quest. Yeah.
So is there some pretty good places we can eat down there too, or do we need to
Oh, yeah.
bring some food to cook out?
Um,
I've never
boots on the ground and barbecue.
yeah,
Yeah.
cook out. There's plenty of places to cook out there. There's
I'll bring my barbecue sauce.
there's Medicine Park. Medicine Park has all kinds of restaurants, and
It is shaving cream.
and it's a nice little hippie town.
Fancy Ramona.
Ramona, good to see you.
Halito.
Good to see you.
But Medicine Park, I don't know if y'all knew this, but Al Capone used to run the hotel that's right in downtown area.
Oh wow.
So,
I'm
That's-
related to Babyface Nelson.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad's family was the Nelsons.
oh yeah, he's been in Medicine Park.
Wow.
I know. I used to know a lady. Her husband was in the mob in the 1950s in Lawton, and yeah, she told me all kinds of names. She was
Oh,
like,
I
"Yeah,
would imagine.
I met this person, this person, this person." Yep.
Wow. Different time, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely. Somebody's warming up something in the microwave. They're making me hungry now.
They're making popcorn.
Ah. I got me some of that white cheddar popcorn. I like that pretty good.
Oh yeah.
White cheddar popcorn?
Yeah. That one that comes in the black bag, you know?
Smart Time?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I love that stuff.
I like popcorn, period.
My dad used to eat a bag of popcorn every night before he went to sleep. Every night, right on time.
Me.
Yeah, that's what he would do
He does.
every night.
Well, not every night, but majority of the nights.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
one-
Harold, I think we done enough damage tonight. Almost 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Oh, here.
Let's see. You got anything coming up? You got anything going on?
Well,
Glory Days and sorry, Glory
Right.
Days, 4th of July weekend.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Crescent. If they want to come up, we always have a big fireworks show. Lots of fun. Parade's at noon. Be there, be square. Love, Cammy.
I guess you just got invited to Crescent Days, the Glory Days for Crescent.
And then come stop at the Mexican restaurant before you go.
You don't work that day.
And come Thursday. I work Thursday from 10 to
Okay. Wow.
It's an all-week day.
You asked what we had coming on. Well, you just got to answer. I don't know.
Well, now that I know that our camera works, Wednesday we'll have our 8 o'clock show, 8 p.m. Central, Bigfoot and stuff on YouTube. I'm trying to find a new streaming service because I'm not paying $88 a month for. But I do have a new streaming service I'm trying, and for some reason I cannot use any of my pictures on it, and I have to figure that out. So until then, we're probably not going to be able to have guests come up on our show because we'll be doing straight off of YouTube. So
I think on YouTube you can have one guest.
okay.
I think you're allowed to have one guest.
Me? No.
Yes, however, it has to be on your phone.
Yeah, you have to do it on your phone.
Yeah.
A lot of people use Restream. I hear a lot of good things about Restream. There's another one I had heard of today that people were talking about, saying that it was unlimited, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I was trying out Streamlab.
Okay, yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. But that's the one that it's not allowing me to use my own content. For some reason, I can take content off my phone and put it on my computer, and it'll show up. But when I go to put it into Streamlab, it's blank screen. So
That's strange.
yeah.
But he's still trying to figure it out, you guys. He's
But yeah, I'm gonna try that Restream. I'm gonna try different ones and see which one works out the best, because this computer has been a headache the last few days.
Mine is tonight. It shut off like 3 or 4 times. I've had to restart it. I don't know what's going on. I've never had that trouble ever. So I'm not sure what's going on.
I heard yesterday that there was a lot of people having trouble with YouTube.
Okay, that I heard that too. I heard YouTube was giving people a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And Christy, tell us about your channel.
okay. I'm not doing anything too special right now. I'm trying to find some time to do Casey Merritt's wood burning for coasters. Haven't started those yet. I am trying to work on a video of the 60-year plaque that I made for my aunt and uncle. I have almost all the pictures in the CapCut where I do the video, and then I have to put my voice to the overlay or whatever, and then I have to call or I have to text my cousin Brandy, because the day that we took the 60-year plaque to my aunt and uncle for their anniversary party, I'm an idiot and didn't take a picture of them holding it. So I have to get a hold of my cousin Brandy to find out if she can go over to her mom and dad's and take a quick snap and send it to me so I can get a picture of that. And so there's that. And then I'm hoping to start maybe doing our family plaque after that. So we'll see. There's so many things I have going on in my brain. Who knows? I just have to find some time.
So have you thought about doing like a Bigfoot, like burning it out, or like a werewolf or something?
Not so much on. Well, I have found at the Dollar Tree, believe it or not, they have the bigger wood planks, I guess you want to call them, for like a plaque thing, kind of like that, or the other Bigfoot thing up there. And I have actually stencil that I can get a Bigfoot silhouette out of.
She's got some good
So
stencils.
there's always that, and then I also want to do a plaque for his OCST, so we can have another thing back there. So, and I'll paint that and put it on canvas. So I always have a couple ideas in the back of my mind. So yeah,
I have ideas, but I seem to sometimes, not get them done. Like I have great ideas, but I like to procrastinate, I guess.
Yeah, like I want to put a big stuffed Bigfoot right here, but
a big stuffed Bigfoot.
yep.
Why don't I just paint a Bigfoot right there and you just?
I think what we should do is we should order Harold a life-size Jason Voorhees to stand in your all's bedroom.
No. Oh, hell no. Okay. No. Because I already see things in my bedroom that are not there. So no.
And then you could put a camera on it to see if it moves during the night while you sleep.
No. Because
you wake up the next morning and it's like,
was it a few nights ago, but maybe a month ago, I woke up and could barely hardly breathe, and he's like, "Babe, what's wrong?" And I fell back to sleep, but I was like almost hyperventilating, sleeping. And next day he goes, "Babe, you woke up in the middle of the night. What the hell did you see?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Don't give me that shit." He goes, "What did you see?"
Yeah, I'm wondering now. I want to know what you saw.
So I woke up. I don't even know what time it was or whatever. And was it 4:00 in the morning? Okay, he knows. And the way I sleep on my right side, so I'm facing the door. And I woke up and I could have swore to goodness that there was like a military, like in what was it? Military in like
You said like World War I.
No, like the Civil War.
Civil War, yeah.
Civil War silhouette.
Union soldier.
Yeah, Union soldier silhouette standing in my door. Freaked me the hell out.
I bet it did.
That reminds me of what happened to that.
So it freaked me out.
That officer we had. A lot of Civil War stuff is people see a lot of that. I think that would be scary too. I think I told Jess about it too. One of my buddies went down and tried to camp at this spot that nobody could camp at. And him and his buddy went down there and they were like, we can do it, During the middle of the night, they start hearing horses and soldiers. And they get up and look outside of their tent. Nothing's out there. They got their blue heeler dog out there tied up outside of their tent. He's having a fit. And they lay back in their tents after they went outside and they start hearing it again. They wake up the next morning and the middle of his cable is cut and the dog's gone. They still haven't found the dog.
Wow.
Earlier tonight we were talking about hearing your name being called in the woods.
Right.
Back when I first was moving to Arkansas from Texas, we stayed in Arkansas for about a year, but we stayed for 3 3 days and 2 nights in KOA camp outside of Fayetteville, and right next to the KOA camp is an old Civil War spot where they have a graveyard and all kinds of monuments. Well, every single night, it got dark, the woods would get all foggy and just look spooky, and then around 10 o'clock at night, you start hearing a battle going on. You start hearing the guns firing, the cannons firing, and you hear men screaming, and then you start hearing like the Union soldiers and Confederate soldiers running through the woods. You can hear a whole lot of footsteps, like they're running, and when I heard my voice, I knew right away what it was, because it was a female voice, and I was laying on the hood of our truck with my little brother. With my little brother, and we're listening to all that, and then all of a sudden he hears it and I hear it at the same time, and we look at each other because he hears my nickname being called.
Oh, wow.
Sugar pie honey bunch.
No, since me and my dad had the same first names,
Right.
my dad's Harold, so my family's always called me Bud. So I can go into a whole story about that, but I heard a female voice saying faintly, because it was a long ways away, but I heard Bud, right? And I look at my brother, and he looks at me, and right away we both said at the same time, "That's a banshee." Because after she said my name, then we heard the screams. We heard the screams, and the screams got louder and louder and louder until both me and my brother were like, "Nope, nope." We went to the lodge. Went inside, and started watching TV.
Tell them about a couple of days ago. I was in the bedroom, and you were out here, and I was watching my phone, and he walked back into the bedroom. He goes, "Did you call my name?"
Oh yeah.
I'm like, "No." He
Yeah, that
goes,
was the night
"I
before
could have
last.
swore to goodness sake you just said, 'Babe,
Yeah,
come here.'"
I was sitting here
Wasn't me.
talking to Connor, and she had called Connor for something earlier, and me and him were talking, and then all of a sudden I knew she went back to the bedroom, and then I heard her go, "Babe." So I'm like, "Okay, Connor, I got to get up and go," because so I get up and go back there, and she's like, "No."
You didn't say two words. No, go away, bug.
But I've also heard my mom call my name in the kitchen. So
Wow.
Hmm.
Was it me? I didn't call him that time.
no, I knew there was nobody in the kitchen when I heard her calling my name.
Hi, cat.
Has that been happening for a while or just recently?
Off and on. I've seen her mom. Well, not seen her. I've felt her presence, and then she's knocked things off the tables, off the walls, and actually
Off the computer today.
I actually did see her mom out the corner of my eye, by the way she described her, and then by the pictures I saw. That's who I saw, and they walked into the kitchen, and then that's when something went flying off the kitchen counter. So I'm just like, it's okay, Mom. Like, I don't know what you're mad at, but it's okay.
Hmm.
So
Do you ever
and
like when you investigate? Does that stuff get worse?
Mm, I've only had a couple incidents when I'm investigating where something has walked around me or breathed on me or whatever. But we did go to visit her mom's grave. Remember,
Mhm.
went to visit her mom's grave, and I was letting
I
her.
believe it was the anniversary of her death.
Yeah, I was letting Christy have her time with her mom, and I'm standing there, and and then I'm looking around, and Christy says you feel something, and I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they're watching us. I'm like, said, I pointed where I knew they were congregating under a tree. Um, um, I felt the energy, and there's this new grave that was dug for a soldier right next to her mom, and I'm like, I look at the grave, and then I look at her mom's headstone, and I'm like, so looks like you got a new neighbor. I was like, and I look over at the soldier's headstone, and I said, keep your hands to yourself. Right. Soon as I said that, I felt someone put their head on my shoulder.
Mm-mm.
I got a crazy one for you, Harold. I haven't even told Jesse about this. The other evening, I wasn't even doing anything, wasn't, investigating or anything. I had went outside and the sun was setting right over the hills. It was beautiful. And I took two photos
Oh
of
yeah,
the sun setting.
I saw him.
Okay, the photo you saw is the one that didn't have the anomaly in it. The
Oh,
other photo that I didn't share,
mhm.
and I've been trying to figure it out because I don't know exactly what caused it. Standing in the road below the sun, like standing in the roadway outside of my yard, looks like a whole bunch of little kids holding hands.
Oh, cool.
And I don't have any photos of kids holding hands on my phone because I thought maybe it was like a, what do they call it? Where you take pictures and one can kind of bleed over to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe that's what it is. But the more I looked at it, it's really clear. I mean, you can actually see like a family of them standing in the road. Now, I bless my property and I plead the blood of Jesus on it, and I've done the oil. So whatever it is can't come onto my property. And I think that's why it was standing in the road. It couldn't come onto the property. But I mean, it's not like where you have to really sit there and look. I mean, it was to the point to where I was even hesitant to even say, there's something there. I thought maybe there was like, a pitcher bled over, something had happened. But I don't have any pictures like that. I don't know that many kids that would be standing in the road holding hands. It's really weird. I don't know what it is. I'll show it to y'all later. But it's really strange.
Yeah.
Really strange. I'm going to send them over to see Christy and Jesse tonight. Tell them they don't have to stand in that road.
Not funny. Mm-mm.
And they're going to wear the Jason Voorhees mask.
Okay, so my mom passed away August 20th of 2017. Okay. I was on my way home, not the day of her funeral, but like a couple of days after that. I was on my way home, and um I wasn't driving because my ex was at the time, but I was like, oh my god, I had to have him stop the car, and I had to take this picture. I'm going to show you this picture.
Looks like an angel.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So yeah, I want to do my version of this picture. this is my picture. I took this picture. I
Right.
want to do my version of what I see on a canvas. But
Yep.
That'll be nice.
Mhm.
I wish I could draw. I can't draw, so mine would look really bad.
let's draw a stick person for you.
Yeah, I can't even draw a stick person. Well, I'm going to let you all run tonight, guys. I've been on almost 3 hours tonight. My back is screaming at me.
Yeah,
saying,
you're long-winded and waited for us. And
"Oh, I see
waited.
how nice I was."
Uh,
And then I'm going to come Sunday night. I might try to go boots on the ground. So I'm kicking that around if I can find a place that ain't flooded.
Yeah.
92 degrees that day. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it.
That's why I go at 8:45. I go when that sun goes down. Like that song, when the sun
When the sun
goes down.
down.
That's
Exactly.
right.
That's when the cryptids come. When the,
That's right.
paraphrasing the song.
That is right. Guys, I'm going to let y'all run. Thank you for showing up. It's always a pleasure. We always have fun, and we will definitely do it again. Hopefully, I'll get some good breakdowns. I think we had a good breakdown tonight. That was a good one.
Oh yeah,
That
that
was
was a
kind
good
of
one.
creepy.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
it was a little creepy.
Yeah, it was.
All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all run, and I'm going to kick this one and go stretch my back. Again, thank you all so very much. And Harold, try to keep Christy in line until next time. So,
Yes, night,
Bye.
Night, guys.
night, everybody.
Night.
good night. Yeah, my back is screaming at me.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right,
agree.
go ahead, and we'll wrap this one up.
Well, just thank everybody for being here tonight. Thanks for showing your support, and we love y'all. God bless. Stay safe. Stay prayed up, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
All right, everybody. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Thank you for the hearts for Hunter. I hope you all enjoyed this breakdown tonight. I enjoyed it. I'm going to try to get out Sunday, if at all possible, to do a boots on the ground. I really want to do one. And we'll shoot for Sunday if we can find somewhere that's not underwater. But again, it's going to be hard to do. There's a lot of flooding going on, and it's just finding a place to be able to walk that you're not underwater. Amanda, thank you for coming on tonight, co-hosting with us. Really appreciate that. And as always, OCST, thank you for coming on. We always appreciate you guys. It's always a fun time. Until next time, guys. Oh, one last thing. Don't run. We're going to put the link out one more time, guys, of AI Seeking the Truth. There will be a video. We'll do it tomorrow. I'm not sure what time because I think Jesse's doing something. It may be earlier in the day to miss her time on her. I think she's going to live. So it could be earlier, maybe 6 o'clock. Definitely, I will put out a thumbnail when we get it all figured out, what time we're going to do it and everything. But it will happen tomorrow because there's some things that happened today that need to be talked about. And I'm not real happy about it. And I'm never real happy whenever violence is incited against me. And we have some other things that we're going to show you guys. Remember, you will have to join the AI Seeking the Truth page to be able to watch that. It will not be on this page, guys. It will be on my other page, AI Seeking the Truth. And
Not join. They have to go over to AI Seeking the Truth.
Yep, you'll have to go to AI Seeking the Truth and subscribe. You will have to be a subscribed member.
Yeah.
And just go to AI Seeking the Truth. I'll do a short tomorrow also and put the link in it. I think we got the link. Did we put the link back in it?
I did. I was just trying to see if it works. Does it work, guys? Because the other one I put in there didn't work for some weird reason.
Do I have it? Let me see. I thought I put it in here. I may have put it in here. And it may be gone because I've been kicked out so many times and it is gone. I don't think it'll let me. Let me see. Oh, guess what? It saved it. So let me see.
Nanny Pam got it. Thank you, Nanny Pam.
She got it. All right, guys. Just go to that link right there, subscribe, select all, And I will put the link out. Of course, I will put the link in the Facebook page, and I'll put it under the YouTube page for Abnormal Investigations. But you will have to be subscribed to it. We're going to talk about some things, guys. It's not good. It's not good at all. And a lot of it's what I predicted would happen. I pretty much predicted it. So unfortunate, but that's what it is, what it is, as they say. All right, guys. We are going to take off. Again, thank you for being here. Love you guys. Have a great night. Good night. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.